My name is Kristina Nikolova. I'm the co-writer, director on my movie Fate, Love and Whiskey. And this is my first feature. And this is Paul.
Yeah, I'm the co-writer and editor. So, and this is my first feature. So, well, supporting the first feature.
Дай три думи.
Вяра. Любов.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm Nella's fiance.
Това той ли е?
Когато заминах, мислех, че съм пораснала.
Fate, Love and Whiskey is a romance, a love story about an immigrant girl's struggle between love and security. And it is a personal story, although not everything in it is true. And yeah, it's my first feature. It's a special thing for me. I've been a cinematographer for many years before that. So I've been involved with movies for over 10 years when I decided that I wanted to do something more than cinematography, and which is tell this story of me going back and forth between the two countries, like being an immigrant, having realized that when you're an immigrant, you kind of lose sense of home, and the only home you have is your childhood, kind of. So Bulgaria is an interesting place because we have about 10% of our population is immigrants, right? So most of the young people leave, and every summer we come back and we party like crazy and we drink like crazy, and we kind of look for to find that lost home. And so every summer I'll come back and I'll experience that, and I want to tell the story of that.
We were very close. We met at NYU Film School. We were living together for a while, and we were becoming closer than socially acceptably close as friends, and closer we got. We actually were very good at collaborating with each other to kind of open up blind spots in each other's unconscious, particularly when it comes to the vulnerable spots, And both of us were kind of writing from a very protective, armored place. So every short film she did before her love story involved either killing a man or a man that was abusing a woman. So when she invited me out to Bulgaria to work on it, then I just tried to really just start challenging her to look at those things. And actually, our romance began there. We first got romantically involved there, and she wanted to then, me to rewrite it from scratch. So I rewrote it from scratch, and then. Yeah.
And then he left Bulgaria, and he left me, and I was heartbroken. I threw away his script, and so it's a very dramatic story. I don't know if our story is more dramatic than the movie, but it's a very dramatic story we have. And I did the movie on my own with a lot of improvisation, not so much following his script. And then when we got together again a year later, I was not very happy with the cut, and he came along and saved my movie and re-edited it to something I love now. Well, I know that, a lot of American films go and shoot in Bulgaria, but that's a lot of, it is cheaper. It has great landscape. It's a beautiful place, and it's very easy to shoot there because you don't need much permits. You can do pretty much anything. To me, it was special because that's my home. So that was the reason I wanted to do. I wanted to start my first movie here in Bulgaria, and then most of it is shot there. Some of it is shot in America, and my second movie I want to do here. But that was important for me to start from my roots. And yeah.
Exactly. Well, not really, because like I said, we know each other better than we know ourselves, so it was a great opportunity to sort of illuminate all these sides of ourselves that were dormant, so it was beautiful, it was kind of like living in her skin, and yeah.
And he wrote it while he was in Bulgaria, so we got a chance to go to the places where it took place, to meet the people that it was inspired by. So he got a chance to.
I could relate to those people. I was like, just like abandon reality and just kind of lose yourself in just a completely lost place, So.
I was surprised. The response was better than I thought. People were reacting at a lot more places than I expected. It's just like I felt that they can feel it. I always thought that it's more of a people's film rather than a festival film, because that's how I experienced it, and that's how I always felt. And most people say it has more of a mainstream quality to it rather than festival quality to it. So the reaction was great. And it was very early in the morning. It was 10 o'clock in the morning to premiere Fate, Love and Whiskey movie, but the reaction was great.
Yeah, you could feel the crowd like together sharing it, And you always know like when you have a pretty dark story at certain times that when the jokes come, people kind of it's like a reward that they're all gonna laugh, They're not at that point like I don't like this, I'm not gonna. You could feel them all like savoring each of those moments where they could just take that laugh and then get ready for the next like intense moment to happen, right?
The most important thing I think for me is like when you're doing a romance movie is the cast and their connection with each other. I spent the longest time because when I had the guy in mind, even when I was writing it, because he's a famous Bulgarian actor, and I was like, he'll be perfect for it. And the girl I didn't have. I tried a lot of actresses, and she came to me by total accident because she called me a week before the shoot. I didn't have an actress. I had a couple of choices, and a week before the shoot, she called me on the phone, and I have met her before, and she was like, "Oh, I'm in town. Wanna hang out?" And because she's Macedonian, so I was like, "Why don't you come to a casting?" And that day she came, and they connected right away, and I can tell right away he liked her, and she responded, and and right away I feel like there was something there, and she stayed the next day, and we made the movie a week later, so we only had about a week of rehearsal.